Good day, sir. I am Cinco Shalamirigala, and this is the continuation of our report. So, miscellaneous provisions, it is typically preferred to additional clauses or details included in a document, contract, or law that cover various specific situations or aspects not addressed elsewhere. They serve to clarify, address exceptions, or provide further guidance on certain matters. So in other terms, miscellaneous provisions is referring to different kinds ng mga balaod that serve as an information to all persons so that ma-aware po sila. Appeal in letter A, it was stated that all of the administrative actions under the Fire Code and IRR by an officer pursuant to Rule 13 of this IRR shall be appealed to the next higher authority within 15 days from its receipt of the pertinent order or notice. For the letter B, in which all authorities are final and executory except in cases of stoppage of operation and closure of buildings where appeal may be elevated up to the Secretary DILG. Decisions of the Secretary DILG shall be final and executory. Next is citizen participation. A. Cooperation with BFP. The Fire Code and its IRR are designed to achieve fire safety in the community. To this end, inspections are to be conducted by summons of the BFP. All inspections of premises shall be done with designated and authorized BFP personnel and distinctive andom with proper identification cards and mission orders. Citizens can assist in achieving the goals of public fire safety by operating with such duly authorized inspectors and affording them the opportunity to accomplish their mission. So, we should always remember that cooperation of the BFP is important because they play a crucial role in ensuring our public safety and firefighting efforts. And they have the expertise, resources, and authority to respond to emergencies, enforce fire safety regulations, and conduct fire prevention activities. Without their cooperation, it would be challenging to us and effectively address fire-related incidents and protect communities from the dangers of the fire hazards. B. Individual and group initiative. All persons are encouraged to inspect their own premises and to abate any fire hazard therein, as well as take the fire safety precautions. So, if ang individual or group initiative is being encouraged in inspecting about some mga fire hazards, they could abate in important several reasons. One of those is in order to prevent the fire. Next is implementing details. The Chief BFP shall have the authority to issue such further implementing details as may be necessary to carry out the provisions of the RA 9514 and these rules and regulations with the approval of the Secretary DILG. So these are the following duty of the Chief BFP in the implementation of the Fire Code. So A, it is the duty of the Chief BFP to ensure strict implementation of the Fire Code and its implementing rules and regulations. B, however, in cases of existing buildings which when forced to comply will compromise the structural stability, the Chief BFP may accept adequate alternative fire safety measures of the fire safety requirements of this IRR upon application by the owner or occupant, building administrator of the building or structure. C. For the purpose, a technical committee shall be created to assist the Chief BFP in determining the adequacy of the said alternative measures. D. The basis for the evaluation of the technical committee shall be in accordance with the implementing guidelines approved by the Secretary of the Interior and Local Government. Next slide is definition of terms. First is abatement. Any act that would remove or neutralize a fire hazard. So, kani siya, nag-include sab din siya atong mga measurements about sa wiring or any materials nga related which can cause of fire. It also implement about sa mga safety protocols. Then, next is building administrator. Any person who acts as agent of the owner and manages the use of a building for the latter. Then, aerodrome, an airport or defined area on land or water including any building, installation, and equipment intended to be used wholly or in part of the arrival, departure, and surface movement of aircrafts. The next is the air carrier or operator. A person who undertakes, whether directly or indirectly, by lease or any other arrangements to engage in air transportation services or air commerce. So kani siya, nag-refer ni siya atong mga tawo who is responsible in air transportation services. So next is the aircraft engine. Any engine used or intended to be used for the propulsion of an aircraft and includes all parts, appurtenances, and accessories thereof other than propellers. So, ang engine, mao ni siya ang nag-generate sa burning fuel o accelerating air in which siya may nagpaalaw nga move pataas ang usa ka aircraft. Then, aircraft operation area. Any area used or intended for use for the parking, taxiing, take-off, landing or other ground-based aircraft activity. So, kani siya, ga-refer ni siya atong mga ground in which naay mga buhaton nga activity when it comes sa aircraft. Then, aircraft. Any machine that can derive support in the atmosphere from the reactions of the air, other than the reactions of the air against the Earth's surface. Next is the aircraft service station. So, that portion of an airport where flammable liquids are stored or dispensed and shall include all facilities essential thereto, such as but not limited to underground. Then, abatement. Any act that would remove or neutralize a fire hazard, tanks from which aircraft fuel and lubricants may be drawn through dispensing devices. So, I've already discussed a while ago nga ang abatement is responsible din na siya when it comes to neutralizing the fire hazard. And then, the airport. Any area of land or water designed, equipped, set apart, or commonly used for affording facilities for the landing and departure of aircraft and includes any area or space, whether on the ground, on the roof of a building, or elsewhere, which is designed, equipped, or set apart for affording facilities for the landing and departure of aircrafts capable of descending or climbing vertically. So, we all know nga ang airport is diha jud mismo magikan ang mga aircraft which serve as their landing and departure. And then, we have the anesthetics gas. A medical gas used as anesthetic agents for surgical procedures that could either be flammable or non-flammable. And examples for the flammable anesthetics are the cyclopropane and ethylene. Then, approve. It is acceptable to the authority having jurisdiction. Arena stage. A stage or platform that opens at least 3 sides to audience setting. It may be with or without overhead scene handling facilities. Next slide is the Authorized Government Depository Bank or the Authorized Government Servicing Bank. Government servicing banks such as the Land Bank of the Philippines or the LBP, Development Bank of the Philippines or the DBP, United Coconut Planters Bank or the UCPB, and Philippine Veterans Bank or the PVB, wherein fire code revenues are deposited for subsequent remittance to the Bureau of Treasury or the BOT. Then, automatic fire suppression system, an integrated system of underground or overhead piping or both connected to a source of extinguishing agent or medium and designed in accordance with fire protection engineering standards, which when actuated by its automatic detecting device, suppresses fires the area protected within. An automatic fire suppression system is a specialized firefighting system designed to detect and extinguish fires without human intervention. It typically consists of the sensors, control panels, and fire suppression agents such as the water, foam, or gas. And then we also have the automotive service station. So the automotive service station, it is a portion of property where liquids used as motor fuels are stored and dispensed from fixed equipment into the fuel tanks of motor vehicles and shall include any facilities available for the sale and service of tires, battery, and accessories, and for minor automotive maintenance where work. And then the baffle, a non-liquid type transfers partition and cargo tank. So kaning baffle, it is a device which is used to kanang mo control og mga direct flow sa gases. Then the bale, a large bundle or package of any or a raw material such as cotton, tightly bound with string or wire to keep it in shape during transportation or storage. And then we also have the below ground container, the berm, blasting agent, which is a material or mixture consisting of a fuel and oxidizer used to set off explosives. So, siya may giuse para mo set off atong mga explosives o atong mga mubuto. So, we also have the blowout, a sudden release of oil and gas from a well. And then the boiling point, the temperature at which the vapor pressure of a liquid equals the surrounding atmospheric pressure. The boil over, which is the expulsion of crude oil or certain other liquids from a burning tank in which the light fractions of the crude oil burn off, producing a heat wave in the residue, which on reaching a water strata may result in the explosion of the portion of the contents of the tank in the form of a froth. The brine, which is referring to any liquid cooled by the refrigerant and used for the transmission of heat without a change in its state, having no flash point or a flash point above 65 and 16 Celsius, as determined by the American Society of Testing Materials Method D93. We also have the brush, which is the land covered with a dense undergrowth of small trees and brushes. The bulk oxygen system, which is an assembly of equipment such as the oxygen storage containers, pressure regulators, safety devices, vaporizers, manifolds, and interconnecting piping that has a storage capacity of more than 566 cubic meters of oxygen, including the unconnected reserves on hand at the site. So this will serve as the oxygen storage, kaning bulk oxygen system. And then we also have the bulk plant, that portion of a property where liquids are received by tank vessel, pipelines, tank cars, or tank vehicle, and are stored or blended in bulk for the purpose of distributing such liquids by tank vessels, pipeline, tank car, tank vehicle, portable tank, or container. And then the bulkhead, a liquid tight closure between compartments of a cargo tank. So, kaning bulkhead, mura ni siya katong wall within sa vehicle. Another definition of terms is the cargo tank. Any tank having a liquid capacity more than 450 liters used for carrying flammable and combustible liquids and mounted permanently or otherwise upon a tank vehicle. We also have the cellulose nitrate or nitrocellulose, a highly combustible and explosive compound produced by the reaction of nitric acid with a cellulose material. So this was commonly used in products like varnishes and a film stock. And then, if naatay ko ang cellulose nitrate or nitrocellulose, we also have the cellulose nitrate plastic or the pyroxylene. So, any plastic substance, materials, or compound having cellulose nitrate or the nitrocellulose as base. We also have the city or the municipal fire marshal, the duly designated head of the city or municipal fire station, including those designated as officer in charge or in acting capacity. And then we also have the chemical plant, a large integrated plant or that portion of such plant other than a refinery or distillery where flammable or combustible liquids are produced by chemical reactions or used in chemical reactions. The Class A fires, which involves the ordinary combustible materials such as the wood, cloth, rubber, and the plastics. And then the Class B fires, which involves the flammable liquids and gases, like sa mga fuel. And then the Class C fires, which involves the energized electrical equipment. Then Class D fire, which involves the combustible materials such as the sodium, magnesium, potassium, and other similar materials. Another definition of terms is the Class K fires, which is fires in cooking appliances that involve combustible cooking media or the vegetable or animal oils and fats. So, usually, kato ni siyang mga ginagamit na to sa kusina. And then, closed container. Any container so sealed by means of a lid or other device that neither liquid nor vapor will escape from it at ordinary temperatures. And then we also have the collecting officer, which is an officer that accountable who shall be responsible to the collection or deposit and remittance of fire code revenues from all fire code taxes or fees or charges and fines with AGDB or the AGSB. So, naghisgat din siya atong mga officer nga responsible when it comes to any taxes or charge. And then the combination standpipe, a pipeline system filled with water and connected to a constant water supply for the use of the BFP and the occupants of the buildings solely for fire suppression purposes. And then we also have the combustible fiber loose house, an enclosed and isolated structure where loose fibers are worked upon and used as storage for such fibers. We also have the combustible fibers, any readily ignitable and free-burning fibers such as but not limited to cocoa fiber, cotton, and so on. These are materials in fibrous or shredded form that will readily ignite when heat sources are present. And then the combustible liquid, which is any liquid having a flash point at of above 37 and 8 tenths degrees Celsius, and classified as follows, which is the three, Class 2 liquid, Class 3A liquid, and the Class 3B liquid. So we also have the combustible waste, also known as loose waste material, are those generated by an establishment or process and being salvageable, are retained for scrap or reprocessing on the premises where generated. And then next would be the community or barangay fire brigade. It is referred to the group of firefighters performing fire suppression activities within a specified jurisdiction. So, kani siya, nag-refer ni siya atong mga tao sa atong barangay or community which has the knowledge in performing such kinds of fire activities. And then, the compressed gas, which is one that exists solely in the gaseous state under pressure in the range of 273 kilopascal to 24,923 kilopascal at all normal atmospheric temperature ranging from 20 degrees Celsius to 37 and 8 tenths degrees Celsius inside its container. And then last is the compressed gas container. It refers to a pressure container designed to hold compressed gases at pressures greater than the atmosphere at 20 degrees Celsius. And that's end of my report. And the following report will be discussed by the next reporter.